Welcome to the Mystic Media channel. I am your host, Rabina Rastavan, aka the Realist Astrologer. And tonight I'm going to get into the dark-sided Sagittarius female. Now, while I'm getting started, I'm going to put up a disclaimer. Basically, this disclaimer is discussing that this is pertaining to those Sagittarian females that tend to lean on the dark side or they're dark-sided altogether. So please read the disclaimer, and if it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. And I also must tell you that I'm a Sagittarius, and I know some of my viewers were wondering what sign I am. Some of you guys already knew from some of my other videos and some of the comments that I have made. So yes, I am a Sagittarius, and I am guilty of some of these dark-sided traits, but thankfully I have found the light. When I was much younger, I definitely embodied a lot of these dark-sided traits. So let's get started. So first and foremost, the dark-sided Sagittarius female, she's irresponsible. And in the process of her irresponsibility, she will often place unreasonable demands or undue burdens on friends and loved ones as a result. She can be very immature. Basically, she's a big kid. She's goofy. And I'm guilty of that. Even today, sometimes I just can be like a big kid. Um, I might be cutting up in a store. If I hear a good song come on, I'm singing along to it. I'm nodding bobbing my head. I'm, doing a little dance in the aisle. So yeah, Sagittarius has a ton of energy, and sometimes we can come across as obnoxious. So, yeah. Also, Sagittarius can be undisciplined due to wanting freedom at all costs. The dark-sided Sagittarius female may quit her job at the drop of a hat due to a need for freedom and also an inability to be in subservient positions for long. And that's because of Sagittarius godlike status, or their need to have godlike status, or for females, goddess-like status. Also, she will even break the law if she deems it's necessary in order to preserve her freedom. So the dark-sided Sagittarius female, she may have a criminal record, and a lot of them have DUIs. Now, thankfully, I've never gotten a DUI, but I have gotten into a little snafus with the law when I was younger, and it was mainly due to the fact that I didn't want to abide by certain laws, and I wanted to be free. I used to just, not pay traffic tickets, and I got a couple of bench warrants for that because I was like, I didn't deserve this ticket, so I'm not going to pay it. So that's dark-sided Sagittarius all day long. Also, the dark-sided Sagittarius female can be reckless, clumsy, crazy even, especially when driving. However, she's a highly skilled driver, and I'm a perfect example of that. So I could drive my ass off, but sometimes I can be kind of erratic on the road. And also, the dark-sided Sagittarius is prone to road rage. So you don't want to cut them off, and you don't want to ride on their bumper because, you're liable to either get the finger or worse. The dark-sided Sagittarius female is disorganized, often messy, and even she can appear to be disheveled at times. Meaning, like, her bra strap is just hanging off her shoulder. Kind of like what I said about the dark-sided Gemini female. Gemini and Sagittarius are polar opposite signs, so there's a lot of similarities, although there's key differences as well. So a lot of what I'm saying, some of what I'm saying may pertain to dark-sided Gemini females as well. The dark-sided Sagittarian female tends to be forgetful, but she will catch an attitude when you remind her that she forgot something, or she'll play dumb. Now, the dark-sided Sagittarius female is an expert at playing dumb. Just think about Britney Spears, think about Miley Cyrus, think about Nicki Minaj. These are all Sagittarius women, and they play that dumb role really well. Anna Nicole Smith is another one. But most times, these Sagittarius females are not dumb in the least bit. Now, I have to admit, there's two types of Sagittarian females. You got the intellectual type, and then you got the kind that's just, head is up in the clouds, can't think straight, no direction, and basically acts like an airhead. So, you really, you gotta separate the two. One is very intellectual, the other one is animalistic, but both can be dark-sided. The intellectual one being more dangerous, of course, because she often uses strategy to get over or to, get what she wants. She's a big time procrastinator, of course. She's always running late. The dark side of Sagittarius female tends to be cocky, conceited, overconfident in her abilities. She is tactless, blunt, and sensitive. She will say shit to her man like, "Your dick is one of the smallest I've had, but it's so cute." Or, "I usually prefer a bigger dick, but I could get used to this." Or they'll say some shit like, "Were you born with that lazy eye? I get turned on when you look at me with that baby eye. You look like Forrest Whitaker." Yeah, she'll date a dude with a lazy eye or one like Fetty Wap, a dude with a missing front tooth because it's exotic. And she likes the war story that goes along with the deficiency. She'll even buy you a gold replacement tooth for those formal events. The dark side of Sagittarius is very spoiled. She's used to getting her way, and if she doesn't get her way, she might throw a temper tantrum or you might just have to hear her mouth. She is a poor sport, sore loser. Just think about the little girl that's playing jacks or she's playing some board game and because she's losing, she flips the board over. That used to be me. I have 3 sisters and I was the youngest. So of course, naturally, a lot of times I would be losing games because I just wasn't sharp enough as my older sisters. So when I was real young, when I was losing, I was the type that I would just throw the jacks or I would flip the game board over and piss my sisters off. So yeah, sore loser. The dark side of Sagittarius female, she's always griping about how shit's not fair and how things aren't working out in her favor. She's all about fairness and justice, even though she might be committing grave injustices upon others. So she could be hypocritical in that respect. She tends to be over the top, amped, has so much energy, loud, obnoxious, crass, crude, ostentatious, has, engages in these over the top antics, unapologetic in her approach. Just think about Nicki Minaj, Christina Aguilera, which is another Sagittarius. Think about her when she put out that Dirty video. Before then, she was this meek and mild and demure singer. And then she came on the scene with that Dirty video. I love that video, by the way, and I love that song. And she just let it all hang out. She went buck wild. So that is the epitome of Sagittarius. We could get buck wild, especially when we're having fun and we want to go party. We tend to be party animals and we want to party to the fullest. Also, the chick that drinks too much and starts flirting with her man's brother or friend, that's a dark-sided Sagittarius right there. So you got to watch them when they, get a little too tipsy or when they get drunk because they have a tendency to be very loose with their morals. The dark-sided Sagittarius tends to be a huge flirt. And I have to admit, that's one of my dark-sided traits too. Even to this day, I'm just a natural flirt, and it's because I like to make people feel good. So if I feel like somebody looks good, I'm gonna tell them about it. Or if I feel like somebody needs a boost to their self-esteem, I'm gonna let them know like, oh, I like that shirt you got on or whatever like that. And a lot of times it's just about being happy, being gregarious, being jovial, and wanting to share that positive energy. So a lot of that flirtatiousness is just about us being friendly, but we can't help it. We tend to be kind of sexy at the same time, so it comes across as heavy flirty. There I go being cocky. So another thing is the dark side of Sagittarius is extremely impatient. She wants what she wants when she wants it, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm very impatient. The dark side of Sagittarius female has a horrible temper. She's prone to violence. She likes to throw shit and break shit up. Now, I've been guilty of this too in my younger days. One story in particular, I had this boyfriend when I was in junior high through my freshman year of high school, actually sophomore year or whatever. But he was like the love of my life, that whole teenage love thing. So, we were together for like 3 years and he would cheat on me and stuff. And in the beginning of the relationship, he did me dirty or whatever. So I forgave him for all of that. But one day I was riding in the car with him. We were in the back seat. And he said something to piss me off. And I just went off on him. I started wailing on him. And I remember my sister was in the car and she was like, "What's wrong with you?" and everything like that. Somebody had to pull me off of him. But yeah, sometimes Sagittarius can lose it and we have a hard time controlling our anger. The good thing is we blow up and then we calm down very quickly and then we're over it. But you got to be careful with Dark-sided Sagittarius anger, she can become very violent. Also, just think about Lucy Liu's character over in Ishii in the Kill Bill movie. She's a Sagittarius in real life, and that scene where she decapitated dude that wanted to express his reservations about her mixed ethnicity, and she jumped on that table, ran up to him, and chopped his head off, and then she, calmly stated her, explanation of why she did it, and then she yelled and was like, so if anybody else has anything left to say, now's the time to say it. That's Sagittarius all day long. Like, we can snap like that and then get back to, our normal demeanor or peaceful demeanor. So she played that part to the hilt. Another dark-sided Sagittarius female trait is they tend to want to be exceptions to the rule, and they always have an excuse for their bad behavior. They're always trying to justify their bad behavior. Another dark-sided trait is the dark-sided Sagittarius female tends to be very bad with money, and that's because they tend towards extravagance. They can also be wasteful. The dark-sided Sagittarius hates the budget, and I'm guilty of that even to this day. I hate the budget. I hate to be restricted when it comes to spending. If I want something, I want it. Good thing is I have a lot of Capricorn energy, so that keeps me grounded. If it wasn't for that, I'd be worse off than what I am. But Sagittarius, they don't want any limitations upon their ability to have a good time, to get what they want. So the dark-sided Sagittarius takes it to an extreme, and she may not want a budget at all. She may, hate having to count her pennies. She may hate having to look at her bottom line. And it deals with the whole irresponsibility. Another dark-sided Sagittarius female trait is they have a tendency to be too masculine. And I have this tendency as well. So the good thing is I have Venus in Libra. I have some Scorpio energy. I also have Mars trine Venus. So I can have that balance. However, I am very masculine. I've even been told by ex-boyfriends that, I act like I'm the man in the relationship. So the dark-sided Sagittarius female, she tends to take it too far. She's the type that will belittle her man if she feels like the man ain't stepping up to the plate. Now, she's fascinated by men, but also she has a need to be equal to men as well. So don't be surprised if the dark-sided Sagittarius female is challenging your manhood. And more often than not, the dark-sided Sagittarius female probably has suffered a beatdown as a result of challenging a guy's manhood. Because, like I said, when it comes to asserting their independence or, running their mouth, a lot of times the dark-sided Sagittarius will go too far, will be tactless, will say some real dirty, low-down shit, but it'll be the truth. Now, the dark-sided Sagittarius female, she'll take the whole masculine identity and energy a little too far to the point where almost like fantasizing about having a dick. So just think about Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj when they're on stage performing. It's not uncommon for them to come out with a dildo or a strap-on and, just be celebrating their masculine energy. So that's dark-sided Sagittarius all day long, where you like kind of fantasize about having a dick because you want that power, because you understand that you have that power. So you're like, okay, I wonder how it would be if I had a dick. Like, and it's also the sexual thing, which I'm going to get into. Dark-sided Sagittarius is a very sexual female. Sagittarius, period. So I'm going to get into that. So, dealing with the masculine energy, basically the dark-sided Sagittarius female will chew up a nice guy and spit him out. She's a straight-up heartbreaker. Also, she's a female player, a female max. She knows how to use her sexuality to get what she wants. She may be a hoe, but she just calls herself free-spirited, or she considers herself to be exercising her right to freedom of sexual expression. At a young age, she could be sexually precocious. She could lose her virginity at a very young age, often very promiscuous. Often she is the aggressor when it comes to hooking up. She has had a ton of sex partners and sexual experiences, and her numbers can rival that of some men. Sagittarius is all about aspirations, and just like the males, the dark-sided Sagittarius female aspires to accumulate some stellar sexual experiences. So you better bring your A game if you're fucking a dark-sided Sagittarius woman, or a Sagittarius woman, period. Like, we really take this shit seriously, the whole sex game and all that. So if your sex game is weak, then the good thing is we're very good-natured people, and we're very kind, so we will try to help you out and try to, guide you in the right direction in terms of your sexual expression. But if you're just dead sexually, then that's a deal breaker. Also, like a man, the dark-sided Sagittarius female can have sex without any strings attached and without getting emotionally caught up. And a lot of dudes can't handle that because when dealing with a dark-sided Sagittarius, the dude might actually fall in love before the female does. Also, the dark-sided Sagittarius is the groupie of the Zodiac. And that's because Sagittarius deals with religion, worship, godlike status, and also fanaticism. So don't be surprised if you're with your dark-sided Sagittarian girl, she tells you that she fucked some NBA star or some dude in a popular rock band. She's basically the quintessential rocker girl. And she's gonna get those backstage passes because she fucked the security guard in advance. A lot of those chicks in those Girl Gone Wild videos, the wildest ones are most likely dark-sided Sagittarians. If you have dick, she will travel. She will travel to get some dick. A lot of those old white women getting the good Caribbean dick are probably Sagittarians. She likes that exotic dick, and she's an equal opportunity lover. Black, white, Puerto Rican, everyone's fucking and freaking, as Prince would say. He said funning and freaking, but I'm saying fucking and freaking. She'll even go after some Eskimo dick just to say she hit that and describe how cold his stroke was. She has a YOLO mentality, or you only live once mentality, especially when things aren't going her way. She tends to go off on the deep end and wants to just party hard and be reckless. And the thing is, when the dark-sided Sagittarius female is having a rough time or having a tough time, she'll make things worse by being impulsive, by being reckless, by throwing caution to the wind, by taking foolish risks. She's also guilty of broken promises due to pie in the sky ideals and fantasies. The dark-sided Sagittarius female often lacks direction. She has a hard time remaining focused. She doesn't do well with minor details, and she's prone to have that whole ADHD going on because Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's a very dynamic sign. It's a volatile sign because it's a mutable sign. So all of that energy, and it's that masculine energy, so it wants to project outward. So with females, a lot of times that energy may be channeled into sexuality, or it might be channeled just into trying to get the one up on people or trying to be the best at something. Sagittarius can be very competitive as well, just like Leo. Also, she could be guilty of gross oversights, omissions, and errors, and that's because of her lack of attention to detail. The dark-sided Sagittarius female can be cruel with jokes, pranks, insults, and paybacks. Oh man, I got a few pranks that I played on people that were like totally cruel back in my younger days that I feel kind of bad for, but actually some of them actually deserved it. Also, think about the term fools rush in. That must have been written about a dark-sided Sagittarius. She is quick to jump into a relationship and just hope for the best. She will elope only to regret it later because, again, she loves her freedom and she wants to keep her options open, just like the dark-sided Sagittarius male, but she may not readily admit that up front. Now, if his dick is good and he can make her laugh, he may be suitable for marriage despite his long-ass rap sheet and all the other red flags that everyone else can see, but she can't. You see, she's attracted to bad boys, that hyper-masculine type, but they often find her too masculine. She can't deal with the nice, passive type of dude. Like I said, she'll eat him alive. The dark-sided Sagittarius is basically, if you don't clearly define a relationship, she's prone to act like she's single, even though she might be seeing you on a weekly basis. The two of you might be really getting close. You guys might, the two of you might really, start to have those deep feelings for each other. But if you're not explicitly stating, like, we're together, we're in a relationship, then she feels like she has license to do what she pleases, as long as, that relationship has no type of stamp on it. So don't be surprised if you're dating this dark-sided Sagittarius female and you're over her house one day and she leaves her journal open, and in that journal you're reading about how this dude came all up in her face and whatnot and how she loved it. The dark-sided Sagittarius female, she could be too talkative. She tends to blurt shit out. She talks mad shit, talks a lot of trash, but she can often back it up, especially the intellectual ones. Now, the airhead ones oftentimes have a hard time backing shit up, and they often fall flat on their face. And oftentimes, the dark-sided Sagittarius will cut off her nose to spite her face, and she will hurt herself just based off a principle. And again, back to the whole ADHD thing, the dark side Sagittarius female tends to be very restless. She will just break out sometimes and do some crazy off the wall stuff. It's about her need for adventure. I've been guilty of that as well. Just go crazy and just do some random shit just because I have this big thirst for adventure. So think about Britney Spears, who's a dark sided Sagittarius, and her shaving all her hair off that time. Also, the dark-sided Sagittarius can be flaky. She will cancel on you at the last minute. She could be a fair weather friend, only wanting to be around you for the good times. She could be quite superficial. However, she will fuck an ugly dude if he got swag or if he got that certain je ne sais quoi. Now, she's not really a gold digger, but she will use dick as a stepping stone. In terms of her beliefs, she could be very dogmatic and force her beliefs on others or try to force her religion on others or her political views on others. She has this need to always be right, and she comes across as self-righteous. The dark-sided Sagittarius female tends to be a spiritual religious harlot. She's the conscious stripper archetype. The closet freak who is now celibate and married to Jesus Christ. But she still got that vibrator under her pillow though. Won't he do it? Now, there's two types of dark-sided Sagittarian mothers. The ultra-religious, oppressive mother who expects to be treated like a goddess despite the harm, whether psychological or physical, she inflicts upon her children. So think about the Pentecostal mother who makes her daughters wear dresses, and, she's one of those holy rollers and real strict at home, but she's also a hypocrite. Think about the mother who forces some religious or new age belief system upon her kids, such as Nuwop Bebop or Jehovah Witness, or causing them to feel like outcasts due to their weird customs. Then you have the totally laid back, hands off, free spirited mom who lets shit get out of hand until she erupts. I'm more so that type of mom. And basically, when she does erupt, you get the thunder and the lightning, and the kids are cowering in fear. Now, both mothers can be big time hypocrites. It's all about that do as I say, not as I do. That is definitely a Sagittarian parent phrase. So that's my take on the dark-sided Sagittarius female. I hope you found this enlightening and insightful. Please feel free to comment and contribute. If you have any experiences with any dark-sided Sagittarius females, I would love to hear about it. My next video in the dark-sided series will be about the dark-sided Capricorn female. So please stay tuned for that. Peace and blessings.